Welcome in, hockey fans from coast to coast across this great nation of Canada, the United States, China, and around the globe. You're watching CWHL Live. I'm Nico Cardarelli, and tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Hilberg and Burke, empowering women one sparkle at a time. We're coming to you live from Thornhill Community Center for tonight's contest between the Calgary Inferno and the Markham Thunder, and it's a huge game tonight. As joining me up in the booth, as always, my trusted color commentator, Ben Smith. Ben, this is a huge game for both teams tonight, as Markham battling for their playoff lives and Calgary battling for home ice advantage through the playoffs.
Yes, and both against the Chinese teams too. Markham with Vanke, and both are tied at 27 points heading into the weekend. Markham has a game at hand against the Vanke Rays, who play Kunlun 3 times the rest of this season in Boston, or New England rather. For the Calgary Inferno, like you said, they're looking for home ice advantage, currently 1 point behind the Kunlun Red Stars. They're at 38 points, Kunlun's at 39. So both games this weekend, very impactful. It's a must-win game if you're the Markham Thunder. It's a must-win game if you want home ice, if you're the Calgary Inferno, and both getting an infusion of Olympic talent this weekend. If you're looking at the Markham Thunder, you'll see their captain wearing the number 3, Jocelyne Larocque, back from Pyeongchang. On the Calgary side, Brianne Jenner back as well. She's wearing the number 19. And Laura Fertino and Laura Stacey, both with the Markham Thunder, are dropping the puck tonight. They're not in the lineup, but nonetheless a big addition for Jocelyne Larocque, who was the second place in ice time for defensemen in Pyeongchang. She played about 20 minutes, and that was only behind her trusted teammate Laura Fertino. So a big addition for the Markham Thunder, and of course Jenner. She was the leading scorer last season for the Calgary Inferno, 27 points on the season. So they'll be looking for her to step things up as well. But they got a great lineup of high-scoring talent as well. You look at Brittany Esposito, you look at Sophie Shirley, and a couple of those girls who we'll talk about later in the game. Calgary's not to be taken lightly, of course, tonight. Last time they were in the GTA, but they did not do so well against the Toronto Furies. Yeah. And I was talking to someone off camera who works with the Markham Thunder Association, and they were saying, hopefully that trend continues this weekend, but we'll see what happens.
Should be an interesting contest tonight. We should also mention that Blair Turnbull back in the lineup tonight for Calgary as well. We talk about Olympians. Of course, Blair over in Pyeongchang as well with Team Canada. So 3 Olympians back on the ice here tonight in CWHL action. A huge contest here, and a couple of red-hot goaltenders being turned to for duties tonight as Lindsay Post gets the start for the Inferno, and it'll be Erica Howe getting the start for the Markham Thunder. Even though Lindsay Post getting the start tonight for Calgary, you could argue that Delaney Bryan may be the hotter of the two hands right now, because Delaney Bryan is your ADT goaltender of the week. So we congratulate her on that accolade.
Absolutely, and Erica Howe's also been fire for the Markham Thunder. Played a great game last week against the Toronto Furies, and at this time of the year, I would like to see Liz Knox hopefully maybe get a start soon, at least tomorrow. She's playing tomorrow, yes. And that makes sense too. I mean, the whole hometown hockey part of it. It's great to see her get that game, but also she's been phenomenal for the Markham Thunder as well. And we'll talk a little bit about more of that in a little bit, perhaps, with the hometown tour rolling in, celebrating hometowns, and that's definitely going to be a theme tonight. Speaking of hometowns as well, there's a team from New Zealand here.
Yes.
Which is pretty, I guess that's not relevant to hometowns, but I'm sure they have support of hometowns back in their country as well, and we'll looking forward to talking with them during the second intermission. They're over here to battle against Leaside.
Excellent.
And we'll hear about what hockey is like in New Zealand and kind of the rise of international hockey. You'll hear Jocelyne Larocque talk about that as well. We did a pre-interview with her that will air during the first intermission, and she kind of talks about how international hockey is really on the rise, and women's hockey, justifiably and rightfully so, got really their credit boosted during this Olympics. As you see, Laura Stacey and Laura Fotino take the ice tonight, the 2 Olympic silver medalists with the Markham Thunder, to do the puck drop at center ice, and those 2 are solid as well.
Yeah, and, we talk about the growth of the game. I think for the second straight Olympics, women's hockey, the gold medal final that was the showcase event of the Olympic Games. I think it was unquestionably the most compelling event, the most compelling example of sporting emotion that we saw throughout the past two Olympics. It always seems to come to a head with women's hockey, and a great moment here as we take a moment to recognize the tremendous efforts by Laura Stacey on the left and Laura Fortino there on the right, hugging her captain, Jocelyne Larocque. All three of those ladies helping Canada to a silver medal in Pyeongchang. We should mention in the standings that Kunlun with a one-game advantage over Calgary, that meaning they've played one game more than Calgary. So Calgary, even though they trail Red Star by a single point, they have a game in hand, and that could end up being huge here down the stretch. Of course, after tonight, both of these teams have just 3 games left after this one here tonight. So we are in the stretch, the home stretch of the season here. Again, we've talked about the importance of this game for both these teams. A couple of milestones tonight as well, as players achieving momentous games in their career. Jamie Lee Rattray, this will be her 85th career game tonight, so we congratulate her on that, as well as Fielding Montgomery, who will strap in for her 80th career game in the CWHL. On the flip side, Alana Lovell's playing in her 50th career game for the Calgary Inferno, and former Russian Olympian Ilya Gavrilova is playing in game number 45. We'll step aside here for the Canadian national anthem. It's the Markham Thunder and the Calgary Inferno puck drop coming up on the CWHL.com/watch. Let's take a look at the numbers brought to you by MNP. Ben, let's start with the starting goaltenders, and we'll start with Calgary's Lindsay Post.
She's been excellent. No pun intended with her last name. She's solid in net between the posts, a .919 save percentage, a .205 goals against average, and she gets to start tonight between the pipes for the Calgary Inferno.
7 wins in her rookie season for Calgary, 2 shutouts. She has been solid back there. On the flip side, though, it's going to be a tough test for the Inferno scores as they take on Erica Howe between the pipes for Markham.
And I'm still waiting for you to get her a cool nickname like Fort Knox and a couple of the other girls in the league, but she's got a .924 save percentage and .243 goals against average, and she, like Lindsay Post, has also been stellar for her squad over the past couple of weeks. She was really good last week against the Toronto Furies, really versatile in between the nets, and looking for big things from her this weekend as well.
6 wins and 14 starts, 2 shutouts for Howe, so it should be a great game between these two highly skilled goaltenders. It's going to be Nicole Costa getting us underway here for the opening faceoff, and Dakota Woodworth for Calgary. And it's Woodworth who wins the opening draw for the Inferno. The Inferno skating left to right here in this opening period, wearing their visiting white jerseys, a little bit of red and gold trim along there, as that shot from the point by Wallace Chuck easily blocked. And Markham, no surprise here, wearing their beautiful home green jerseys, a little bit of white and black trim, as they maintain early possession here. It's Jocelyne Larocque who will dump that puck in. A solid first shift for Larocque as she peels off for a change. Calgary a little bit disjointed, breaking out of the zone. Good forechecking there by Markham as they have him pinned in for the moment. Now Gavrilova comes up with it, gets it to Jenner, but quickly that's off her stick. Deep into the far corner where Bozek retrieves it for Markham, plays it near side to Rattray. Rattray met by the check of Jenner. Expect some line matchups there, as I would anticipate seeing Jenner going up against Rattray's lineup all game long. But there's a good stretch pass to Laura McIntosh, who just runs out of real estate. Great back check by Blair Turnbull to break that up. Rattray can't corral that one. Gavrilova plays it off the boards and out. Barbera has it for Markham. She makes the pass up to McIntosh. Turns it over, and here comes Turnbull for Calgary. The smooth skating Turnbull gets around Rattray, but can't get deep into the zone. In fact, she runs into an official, and that's the end of that rush. Here's Taylor Woods, sprung on a long lead pass. Tries to split the D, lets the shot go, and it trickles wide of the far post. Barbera pinching in from the blue line, shielding the puck there from the would-be check of Grennan, and now it's back out through the neutral zone. It'll be Seedhouse first on it for Markham. Nearly 2 minutes into the first period. Good pace in this one as Markham nearly turned it over in front of their own net. But good speed, good pace, and nice play there as Sophie Shirley picks up the loose puck. Shirley tries to cut to the net, runs out of space. She's got options at the point. Plays it back to the point for Murray. Murray shot off the stick of Skeets and into the far corner. Sophie Shirley digging away in there for the Inferno, having a great rookie season here in the CWHL. Of course, a couple of silver medals for Team Canada at the under-18 women's level, and I would anticipate seeing Shirley represent Canada at the senior women's level in the not-too-distant future. Esposito gets the puck to Woodworth. Woodworth cuts in, lets the shot fly. Oh, a quick whistle there. Howe never had full control. The puck ends up rolling off into the far corner, but the referees felt she had it tied up just long enough.
Really good start to the game for both squads. High speed, high intensity. Here you see that. Oh, yeah, that dribbling puck. Erica Howe really didn't have full possession, like you said. Talking about Sophie Shirley, 7 goals, 11 assists, 18 points through 22 games, and she's been stellar for this Calgary Inferno squad. Really stepped it up in the absence of Brianne Jenner, Blair Turnbull, and a couple of them, and it's going to be exciting to see what she can do with them.
Esposito got drilled after a fancy move. And it's a great point that you make about Shirley. She's really stepped up nicely in this transition year for the Inferno. I was talking with their head coach before the game as Esposito tries to feather one into the net, and that's scooped up by Howe. But their head coach was saying, you know, we didn't necessarily have great expectations coming into this year. We felt like it was a bit more of a rebuild, but we've really been impressed with the way we've been able to produce. And he mentioned players like Sophie Shirley who have really stepped up and filled the gap there.
Absolutely, and other players like Brittany Esposito, you were mentioning before about Aya Gavrilova, and she's another one we'll talk about. And there have been a couple of players that have really stepped up for this Inferno squad.
2-on-1 for Markham, and McParlin puts it off the crossbar. Oh, she knows she was inches away from opening up the scoring there. It was a 2-on-1 break. Brown cutting to the net. McParlin thinking shot the whole way. Ben, here we get a look at just how close she was.
Yeah, and that could have been really good. Just a couple of inches too high, hit the crossbar, went high up into the netting. But nonetheless, we'll definitely let Lindsay Post know she's not in for an easy game tonight. But Nico, are we continuing with the trivia here tonight?
Are you teeing me up?
Yes. What was the second most watched Olympic?
Let's get back to that. There's a shot right on goal mouth scramble. And somehow it stays out as Jenner was right there in the middle of it. But it doesn't get past Howe. It was Gavrilova setting up. The pass went over to Alana Lovell on the far side as we get another look here, and then Jenner in the middle of that goal mouth scramble, unable to top it home.
And here you see the referee thought it was in because it looked in from where we were at least, but it was on the outside of the net. It was not on the inside, but definitely looked very close. Talking about Gavrilova, 23 points through 24 games, also point per game player. 6 of those are goals. And she's definitely been a game changer for the Calgary Inferno. But I was going to say,
yes,
the second most watched Olympic event in the 2018 games. What was it?
Oh, I mean, there's a dangerous pass right in front of the Thunder net. Gives me a moment to think about this. I mean, Erica Howe freezes that puck for a face-off. I would think, just the way you're saying it, it's got to be the women's gold medal game.
It was.
Okay,
USA
so
versus Stats. Only second
Yes,
only to Tessa and Scott in their competition.
that was going to be my follow-up. What was the
Yep.
most watched? So really, the figure skating
Yep.
outdrew. Isn't that interesting? And the women's hockey, of course, outdrawing the men's hockey at the
Absolutely.
Olympics. That's really the story
Yep.
there. Well, no question about it. At the Olympic stage, as there's a turnover, Skeets can't capitalize for Markham. But at the Olympic stage, women's hockey continues to dominate both in ratings, scoring lines, and the emotions that tend to come out of those games. As here comes Taylor Woods for Markham. Tries to drag it through the defender, but that one's blocked. And now a chance for Calgary to start it up, led by Taryn Baumgart. She makes the pass. It's broken up, and now Dostaller scoops it up. At the end of a shift, she'll peel off for a change after dumping it in. A puck rolling dangerously in front of the Markham goal, but it's cleared. And here comes Skeets. Skeets hits the blue line, lets the shot go. Never made it on net, picked up by Montgomery. She'll play it behind the net, intended for Urban. Couple players tying up for it, including Baumgart of the Inferno. A pass intended for Esposito through her skates and kept in by Larocque. Post comes out of her net to play it, and teams battling for possession down low. Brittany Esposito tries to flip it off the glass. It's now picked up by Fouracres, who spent last season with Le Canadien, but this year she finds herself on the Inferno, and she's had a good season with Calgary, putting up 7 points in 22 games, and she's got a 2-game scoring streak coming into this one. As Gavrilova tried one last pass, that got broken up, kept in at the line. There's a shot scooped up by the glove hand of Erica Howe with Brianne Jenner right on the doorstep.
That's the thing you see a lot in the league as well is with the girls not doing this full time, you see sometimes players will move around for job transfers or things of that nature. Some of them just like a change of scenery, which is what this league has a lot of potential to provide, is that flexibility to be able to play and make that decision in your life if you need to.
Gavrilova comes up with that puck, makes the pass to Jenner, but that space very quickly closed by Costa, and Jenner gave her a little bit of a shove for her troubles. So physical play certainly picking up again. Last week we saw a really physical tilt between the Furies and the Thunder, and right now the team's starting to feel each other out on the physical side, as here comes Markham with the breakout. Brown gives chase. She won't get there ahead of Turnbull, who leaves it for Apperson. Apperson skates it out. That pass intended for Curio, too far for her, and here comes Markham back the other way. McPartland, bouncing puck, ends up on the stick of Turnbull. Fortuitous there for Calgary. Rattray tries to corral that bouncing puck tight to the net, nothing doing, and she continues strong on the forecheck. Rattray tries to center that one, it's broken up. Curio can't clear it. And now Apperson and the Inferno get it out. Simmons gives chase there, does well to get to that ahead of Apperson, and Barbera scoops it up for Markham. They can't clear the zone, kept in by Gardner, as she feathers it down low to Murray. 12:50 left here in the first period. It's a scoreless tie right now between the Calgary Inferno and the Markham Thunder. You're watching on the CWHL.com/watch. Here comes Laura Dostaller. Stops on a dime, turns it over to Taylor Woods. Battle for the puck just inside the Markham blue line, where it's won by Wallace-Chuck. Nearly has her pocket picked, so she'll switch up sides of the ice. Woods tries to get it around Baumgart. And Pieri first back on that loose puck. Jackie Pieri, for anyone who was watching that Olympic gold medal contest, you may have seen the shot of Jackie Pieri in the stands as she went there to support her Inferno teammates. She was there with Marie-Philippe Poulen's brother, and I'm sure she thoroughly enjoyed the experience there as a fan. Of course, the outcome maybe not what she was hoping for, but looked like she had a great time otherwise, as there's some inadvertent contact between Skeets and Fouracres. And the aforementioned Pieri makes that pass to Esposito. Approaching the midway mark of the first period, Calgary go in just offside, so we've got a stoppage with 11:37 left to play.
Good catch by the official there. Good call. And speaking of teammates watching teammates, Laura Fortino and Laura Stacey still here signing autographs for a couple of the girls' hockey teams, and it's nice that they're, we say it so often, but it's the truth. It's nice, how hands-on the players are with the fans, and you don't see that in too many other professional sports leagues, but great opportunity for the fans.
Turnbull shot right on. That one's turned away by Howe. Yeah, it's a great point that you mentioned, Ben. The availability, the access to the players at this level, it's really incredible and something you don't get in any other professional league in the world. So kudos to all the players for everything they do off the ice. As Gosling keeps that one in at the blue line, makes the pass there to Jenner. Back to the blue line for Gosling as Calgary with some good offensive zone pressure right now. Gosling pinching in from the point, plays it back to the point now for Grennan. She just throws it away under pressure, and this could be I think they had thoughts of stretching it out to Becca King on a long break, but they end up being charged for an icing call with 10:48 left in the first.
Yeah, and it was the right idea, just couldn't get the angle on it, so it went down for icing, but nonetheless kind of just thrown in the zone, and it was a good chance, but nonetheless goes down for icing to the glove side of Erica Howe.
Well, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that you can connect with the CWHL and other fans by following at the CWHL on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join the conversation today. And, of course, you can tweet at Ben and myself. We'll get to a few viewer shout-outs throughout the broadcast, including a very special shout-out for a fan watching from South Korea. As Becca King clears that one up the ice. That's scooped up here by the Inferno. That puck off the meshing out of play, so we'll have a face-off just inside Calgary territory. Well, Ben, where can people tweet you if they want to get in touch?
Ben Smith 1027, and no one can forget your handle there, eh?
Yeah, you can tweet me at Bro Behind the Mic. And again, we'll get to a few viewers' shout-outs throughout the show. We want to thank you all for tuning in to tonight's game between the Calgary Inferno and the Markham Thunder. And here come the Inferno rushing up the ice, led by Pieri. She dumps it in. Sophie Shirley gives chase, but it's Kristen Barbera first on it. Barbera's long stretch pass. Here it is for Brown. She cuts in, lets the shot go right off the mask of Post, and she turns that one away. A good save there by Lindsay Post. Her toughest save so far. As Calgary try regroup here in their own zone. Dostaller receives the pass and dumps it in. The Inferno peel off for a change, and that'll give Barbera a chance to skate it out. Barbera shielding it from Esposito. She dumps it in, but right to the stick of Turnbull. Turnbull goes cross ice to Gosling and back over to Woodworth. Dakota Woodworth gains the zone, tries to get around Wallace Chuck, leaves it there for Turnbull. Rattray picks up that loose puck, and Markham cleared out to center ice. Caitlin Gosling tried to make that pass off a stick and then gloved down by Turnbull. Laura McIntosh checked closely there in the near corner. Down low, pinching after it there. A couple players crash into the ice, but it's Rattray who comes out of the scrum with the puck. And now Gosling will get it to the line, but not out. Larocque tees it up. Big shot, big save. Great chance there for Jocelyne Larocque.
Absolutely, and a couple of big saves there for Lindsay Post. That one right there, and then you were mentioning the one about Browns that we saw a couple of minutes ago. A good job by Brown, Nicole Brown, to stop it on the blue line and the block, and then to be able to skate it in. Lindsay Post on top of that one. Was a little surprised there wasn't a penalty. I thought they might have called it a hook last week. They would have for sure called it a hook.
That's right.
But nonetheless, no penalty on the play.
Well, they're letting them play early on here as we're inside the final 10 minutes of the first period. There's a shot from the blue line, redirected, and a good pad save by Post. She's been sharp early, turning everything away that the Markham Thunder have put on goal. As the Inferno try break out. Picked up by Jenner. Jenner makes the pass to Lovell. Cross ice to Gavrilova off the end boards in front of the net there, and it's still rolling around in front of the crease. Hal got one touch on it, and then it flipped over the stick of Jenner. Larocque ends up with one of the Inferno players' stick in her hands. Gets away with one there as...
And look who it is. Surprise, surprise, Brianne Jenner. The two former teammates just bowing it out on the ice, and it's that was funny to see. But it's nice how they're able to do that, you know. They come together during the Olympics, and then they come back on their teams, and they play against each other. But they're all friends off the ice, of course.
Yeah, and of course, one of the big stories coming into this tonight, as you've alluded to here, 3 Olympians back in action here in the CWHL tonight, as Brianne Jenner, Blair Turnbull, and Jocelyne Larocque all back in action here tonight. And we should mention there's one other game currently going on in the CWHL. What a beauty! McParland steps off the half wall, dekes around one, and then goes roof to open up the scoring. Forget the out-of-town scoreboard. We've got scoring right here at the Thornhill Community Center, and it's Jenna McParland making it 1-0 for Markham.
She had a great game last week, multiple points. Here you see she's able to walk in, takes that extra second, looks at her options, and shoots it top corner. Gets the game rolling, and a great job there by Jenna McParland to get the first goal of the game, open up the scoring. That's huge for the Markham Thunder.
Her 8th goal of the season, make it 5 straight games with a point. She's now scored 5 goals and 3 assists over that stretch, and she opens up the scoring here, making it 1-0 for the Markham Thunder. Richards with a great play at the blue line, stepping up, and the physical play really ramping up here. McParland makes a touch there to get that puck in deep. Costa drawing the lone assist on McParland's goal, and that's a big one for Markham. Ben, they were getting lots of shots on net, and they hadn't cracked post yet, but there they finally get one past her.
Yeah, and they were, like you mentioned, as the referee called, or the linesman rather calls offside, you were alluding to that, that they were really doing the little things right, getting lots of pressure on Lindsay Post, keeping her awake, and it was just a matter of time. And McParland, here you see her again. She just takes that extra second, walks in, top corner, boom, makes it 1-0 for the Markham Thunder.
Well, what I was getting to before McParland scored that beauty was there's one other game currently going on in the CWHL tonight, as the Toronto Furies playing host to the Boston Blades. Both of those teams eliminated from playoff contention, but we will get you an update on that score a little bit later in the show. And then, of course, later on tonight, Vanke and Kunlun doing battle in China as, Erica Howe snags that puck out of midair with pressure bearing down on her. Great glove save there from Howe.
Yeah, that should be a good one too. Kunlun and Vanke kind of also in a race and kind of in the same. Actually,
game.
they're in the. Oh, I'm never good at math. What's the word I'm looking for? Parallel. They're in parallel positionings as Markham and Calgary are. For Kunlun, they want that home ice, and I guess it wouldn't be home ice necessarily, but at a like we were mentioning last week, a neutral site for both squads, but. They're looking to beat Calgary and get that home ice, and Vanke's looking to get in the playoffs as well, as is Markham. So 2 parallel games going on tonight in the CWHL.
As Seedhouse receives that pass, tees up the shot, and Turnbull had to get her body in the way of that one to make the block. Pucks gets out to the blue line where Larocque hammers it down low to the far corner. Post without her stick right now. She's using a player's stick. It's Turnbull's stick as she's out there without a twig. Centered in front, that's broken up, and Calgary desperate to clear it. Great play by Larocque to hold the line, but here it could bite them as here comes Brianne Jenner back in transition. Jenner drops it off to Gavrilova, but it's too far out of her reach, and Calgary can't capitalize on that broken down play. Markham cleared up the ice. Icing indicated, but quickly waved off, so that'll give Markham a chance to get some fresh legs out there. Skating it up here, Erica Crom cuts tight and ends up running out of space there. Pierre holds in from the blue line, makes the play, but Bozak recovers the loose puck. Grigg plays it off the boards and up to King. King's got Montgomery heading to the net. If she can find her, she's got Urban there as well, but that's broken up as Pierre comes in to give Curio some support. Jackie Pierre in there all alone, dumps it in deep and gives her team a chance to change. Oh, there's a turnover, could be costly as Sophie Shirley picks it up, tries to center it in front, but Lindsay Grigg gets in the way of that pass. Back to the point, Murray receives it from Shirley. Murray makes the pass to Gardner. Gardner back to Shirley. Shirley lets the shot fly, redirected just wide of the post. Grigg battling from her knees there. Good work against Dostaller and Murray, but it's the Inferno who come away with the puck. Gardner goes cross ice. Gannon under pressure, lets the shot fly, and that one goes wide of the far near post. Gardner hammers it in, and Bozak plays it over to Grigg. Grigg with some time here has to make a smart play. They do. They get it up the ice, and a chance for Markham to get a much-needed change.
Always look for rules and situations for you, Nico, for my daily dose of rules, and we have one in a second. You know what you can't do? Because we just saw Lindsay Post playing with a player stick. So here's what you can do. You can give her your stick as a player. Here's what you can't do is you can't carry your stick and her stick at the same time and give it back to her.
Right.
That is situation 2, rule 3.3a.
Of course.
And if you any player carrying a stick back to the goaltender, in addition to carrying her own stick, who participates in the game or interferes with an opposing player, shall be assessed a minor penalty for ineligible player. You learn something new every day.
You know where I thought you were going with that? That she can't pick up the goalie stick and then play with the goalie stick. That's honestly where I thought you were going with that. As Calgary get called offside at the line. But how about that? I didn't realize you couldn't carry both sticks simultaneously.
And that rule really has not a whole lot of effect until you're in an OHF championship a couple of years ago and a player picks up a stick for his teammates. This is a true story. Picks up his stick for his teammates, gives it to his teammate. It should have been called ineligible player. It was not. Guess who went down to score a goal?
Oh, no, said player.
That's where that situation really does come into to a bit of meaning.
Larocque hammered that one-timer from the point. That one's turned away by the glove hand of Post. Well, isn't that interesting? Ben, you always bring your A game, and that was some A-plus trivia. Well done, my friend.
Appreciate it. We'll have to top that for next week.
Off the ensuing face-off, Richards wins it for the Thunder. McIntosh picks it up. Tries to center it back out to Richards, but it's broken up, and now we've got a foot race for the puck. Wallace-Chuck under pressure. As Lovell in there for Calgary. Gavrilova centers it. Lovell, bouncing puck picked up by Gavrilova. Plays it back to the line. Gosling thought about the shot, made the move, and then when she let it fly, it was easily blocked. Richards plays it off the boards, but and then she comes in and drills Gosling, and for that, Kristen Richards will be assessed a 2-minute minor. Body contact, the call here. She's not too happy about it, but that's a pretty easy call there for the officials.
Gavrilova was hit there on the boards, and she will go to the box. Richards, 2 minutes for body contact. Calgary's power play at 22-4. Markham's PK. They have the second best special teams in the league at 56%, and so we'll have to see what happens. It'll be interesting.
Calgary's power play coming into this one, 6th out of 7 in the CWHL, so they'll be looking for some improvement here. As Baumgart has the puck at the blue line. Baumgart under pressure by Woods, plays it down low to Apperson. Behind the net, she's got Turnbull back at the point, plays it to Turnbull, who tried to feather it along the boards and out, but that one's picked off by Markham and cleared down the ice. Baumgart will start things up again here for the Inferno, leaving it for Turnbull. Minute 20 left in the Calgary power play as Becca King breaks up that breakout. Rattray aggressive on the shorthanded forecheck. Here comes Gavrilova up the ice for Calgary. Drops it off for Esposito. Minute 35 left in the period. Back to the point for Brianne Jenner. Esposito to the point. Jenner thought about the shot, faked it, passed it to Esposito. Near side now to Gosling. 55 seconds left on the power play. Jenner can't corral that loose puck, and Rattray nearly picked it off for a shorthanded breakaway. Jenner, she's got a little bit of space to skate. Nearly worked her way around King. That's broken up. Here comes Esposito. Esposito has Gavrilova with her. Nice move around King, and then picked off by Rattray. Cleared down the ice. Good penalty killing effort there from the Markham Thunder. Well, final minute here in the first period. And there's still 22 seconds left on the Calgary power play as Shirley brings it in. Lets the shot fly, and that's turned away by the right pad of Erica Howe. Apperson has Shirley with her. Makes the pass to Sophie Shirley. Back to the point for Baumgart. Over to Jenner. 5 seconds left. Lets the shot fly. Redirected, and a good glove save there by Erica Howe as Erica Crum got the redirection right in front of the tendy. Let's get another look at that power play chance for the Inferno. The shot from Jenner. You can see the redirection there from Erica Crum, but the glove hand of Howe tracks it perfectly. 31 seconds left here in the first period. Markham penalty now over, so we're back to 5-a-side hockey as Richards rejoins the play here. Pieri can't handle that one, and here comes a 2-on-1 break for Markham. It's Nicole Brown and Kristen Richards. Brown lets the shot fly, big rebound, and Richards puts it home. With 14 seconds left in the period, the Markham Thunder make it a 2-0 lead. Jumping out of the penalty box, Kristen Richards flies up the ice and buries the rebound on that 2-on-1 chance. Let's get another look here as Nicole Brown with a great job letting that shot go. Almost a pass by proxy of the shot, and then Richards heads up play, stick on the ice, follows it up, and it's 2-0 Markham. For Kristen Richards, that's her 11th goal of the season and her 20th point on the season. And a big goal for the Markham Thunder in the final few seconds of that opening period. Well, the buzzer sounds and the teams will skate off the ice, but it's the Markham Thunder capitalizing on a late 2-on-1 break, making this a 2-0 game after 20 minutes of play. Well, stay tuned as we've got Ben Smith standing by at ice level. He's going to be joined shortly by Jenna McParland. It was Jenna McParland who opened up the scoring in this one on an absolute beauty of a goal, stepping off the sidewall and then roofing it over the glove hand of post, as Nicole Costa assisting on that one. And then just moments ago, Kristen Richards burying a great rebound chance off the initial shot by Nicole Brown. And that is all your scoring through 20 minutes of play. Well, we're all set down at ice level, so let's join Jenna McParland and Ben Smith.
2-0 the score for the Markham Thunder after a period of play. Thanks in part to Jenna McParland. A beauty goal to get the game rolling early. Take us through what you saw on the ice.
It was a great forecheck. We hemmed them in there for a bit, and my first shot was blocked. I got it back and just quick shot, and the goalie didn't even expect it.
Playoffs are around the corner. Both squads chasing positioning, and you guys are hoping to get into the playoffs. Is there an extra level of intensity out there as we get closer to the Clarkson Cup playoffs?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, we're on the verge of making playoffs, so these are big wins. Calgary's up there, so taking these points to them would be huge.
You're up by 2. How do you keep the lead in this game for the next 2 periods?
Just keep playing our game, keep it simple, get pucks deep, short shifts, and just keep going.
Jenna, thanks for this. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned. You're watching CWHL Live. After this, we got a great interview with Jocelyne Larocque talking about her experience in Pyeongchang, South Korea. That and more. You're watching CWHL Live. Stay with us. From the Thornhill Community Center, the Markham Thunder, the Calgary Inferno, joined alongside Jocelyne Larocque. And back from Pyeongchang, why don't we reflect on the Olympic experience and how special was it to play with that group of girls?
It was so special. I mean, we had a really close-knit group. You know, we all got along really great, and it was honestly one of the most special teams I've ever been on. You know, the experience was great. You know, being able to represent Canada at that stage is such an honor and such a privilege, and I just feel very lucky.
It was the second most watched sporting event for the Olympics behind Tessa and Scott Moyer, the figure skaters. And, you know, a lot of people said this was the year that women's hockey was going to come alive and take the front page. Reflecting on it now, do you think women's hockey did that this year?
I would say yes. You know, every game was close. Regardless if we were playing Finland or Russia or the United States, it was good, fast-paced hockey, and you know, it says a lot about the other countries. You know, they're developing at a really rapid pace, and you know, it's exciting.
What are you going to remember most fondly from this Olympic Games?
I would say the opening ceremonies is always a special time. That's the moment where it feels real that, you know, you made it to the Olympics, and that's, you know, always such a special memory in my mind.
Now we're celebrating hometowns this weekend, the hometown tour rolling into Markham, Ontario, and your hometown is St. Anne, Manitoba. How did they help you through your journey through hockey and all the support they gave you?
Oh, you know, they gave me so much support. You know, coming from a small town, you know, they instilled hard work, dedication into me, and, you know, they supported me, you know, whether I was playing ringette or hockey or any sport. It was a great town to be, that I grew up in.
Now here with the Markham Thunder in the playoff push, what are you bringing to the squad and how are you fitting in?
You know, I'm just excited. I'm so happy to come back and you know, wear the green for the first time. So I'm just thrilled. I'm excited. It's great to see the girls, and I'm just look forward to playing.
Well, Jocelyne, it's great to have you back in Markham, and congratulations on a great Olympic Games, and best of luck the rest of the way here in Markham.
Thank you very much.
You're watching CWHL Live. Stay tuned.
Good possession early on as the teams feel each other out. We're just over a minute into this game as they dig out for the puck. Rattray comes up with it. She's got Taylor Woods with her. Rattray still with the puck on her stick. Cuts into the middle. Lets the shot fly. Oh, what a beauty! Make it 12 consecutive games with a point. Jamie Lee Rattray continues to light the lamp here for the Markham Thunder. Makes the pass to Saunders. Rips one just over top the net. Dingledine near side, top of the face-off circle, lets it fly. Oh, what a beauty! On the power play, Jenna Dingledine ties this one up with her 8th of the season, and Toronto evens it up with 10:08 left in the first. Here on the power play, Costa quarterbacking things here from the far half wall, steps in off the wall, lets the shot fly, big rebound. What a beauty! The Thunder capitalize with the man advantage and regain the lead. It's 2-1 Markham as Nicole Brown puts it in on the power play, her second goal of the season. Let's get another look at that one, Ben.
So first, the shot on net, and then, like you said, standing in the perfect position to just bang it home. No one was covering her, and Amanda Michaela had absolutely no chance.
A theme throughout the Olympic tournament on both the men's and the women's side. I can't count how many players we saw got kicked out of face-off dot. Let's hope that doesn't continue on too often here tonight.
Yeah, and hockey can.
Oh, what a beauty! Sorry to interrupt, Ben, but Kristen Barbera getting everything done except for the final touch It's in the back of the net, courtesy Devin Skeets, but the magic on that play was Kristen Barbera as she danced her way around a couple of players, and Skeets backhands it in the net all alone. It's 3-1 Markham. Toronto in this game, coming on the power play. One heck of a rocket shot. There's the pass to Zubak. Zubak tries to feather it back in front, and they score! Toronto answer right back, cutting this to a one-goal game. It's Carolyn Prevost putting it in. If they can get it back, now they do to Wallace Chuck. Goes cross ice. Oh, just missed on the one-timer McParland. Now Brown tees up a one-timer, and she makes no mistake. Beautiful blast from the point by Nicole Brown, and Markham take a 4-2 lead. Costa picks up that loose puck. He's got McParland and Brown with her. Makes the pass to Brown. Right back in front. Oh, what a save! Second chance McParland buries, but that first save by Michaela, my goodness. You got a feel for the goaltender there. Great resilience and persistence by McParland to stick with it and make it a 5-2 lead for Markham. But Ben, let's get another look at this here. Great passing, unbelievable save, and the persistent effort by McParland. So the final score here tonight, the Markham Thunder hold on for a 5-2 win over the Toronto Furies. It was an exciting and entertaining and an eventful game for so many reasons. Lots of goals, lots of big hits, a little bit of controversy as well, and certainly a lot of animosity between these two teams. But they show some good sportsmanship here, shake hands.
Home is not just something you can see or touch. Home is a feeling. It's the place where you feel safe to have those little moments that mean everything. At ADT, we believe that feeling should always be there. Whether it's at your house or your business, we help keep you safe so you can have those moments that make you feel at home. Wherever you are.
Like people, businesses have their journey, their path, sometimes straight, but more often evolving, growing, and adapting. And like people, businesses' needs change, creating the need for knowledge in areas like accounting, consulting, and tax. Areas critical to your continued growth and success, all part of the journey, and all part of what we do together with you. So that when your business has arrived, it's ready to keep going. MNP, wherever business takes you.
from loose puck. Who scores? Trying to go the other way. Davis in front for Jessica Campbell, who scores.
Welcome back inside the Thornhill Community Center as we get you set for the second period of play between the Markham Thunder and the Calgary Inferno. It's the Markham Thunder with a 2-0 lead through 20 minutes of play, and it was the Thunder outshooting the Inferno in that first period 7-6. I'm Nico Cardarelli, joined up here in the booth by Ben Smith. We've got a great second period coming up. Before we get to the action on the ice, we've been teeing up some viewer shout-outs off the ice, and now's a pretty good time to get to them. So let's give a very special shout-out to Patty and Ha Kyung watching live in South Korea. Thank you for tuning in. We're happy to have you on board. Let's also give a shout-out to Jeff, who's tuning in from Iowa. He says, the action north of the border is so good, I almost forgot there was a league south of the border. Let's keep it that way, Jeff. We also want to give a shout out to Jessica tuning in from Plaster Rock, New Brunswick, and the Seed House family, including Roger, Jane, Dallas, Anna, and Bo, watching from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Thank you all for tuning in as we get you underway here in the second period of play. Markham skating left to right here, and they've got a 2-0 lead to open up this period.
Yes, they do, and they had a great first period, but Calgary does have 17 wins on the season, and they didn't get that for no reason, so definitely looking to see them come alive here in the second period.
Certainly expecting a lot from Calgary after they were a little bit on their heels in that first period. You know, I was talking with head coach of the Thunder, Jim Jackson, before the game, and the Thunder and Inferno only played twice previous this season. Those games were in Calgary back at the beginning of November, as that shot from the point off Turnbull's stick goes just wide of the net. And Coach Jackson was saying, you know, those were probably our two worst games all year long. He really felt like they weren't ready to play. They didn't quite have the jump they needed. I think he'll be much happier with his team's performance through 20 minutes of play so far in this one. Here comes Sophie Shirley right in, and she nearly roofed that one, as Calgary starting to cause some issues here for the Markham Thunder. Dostaller, she has her stick tied up there by Richards, who got that goal in the dying moments of the first period to make it a 2-0 game. Grennan keeps it in, but it goes right to the stick of Bozek, and she leads a long pass out to Richards. Rattray flips it over to the near side, where McIntosh gives chase against Grennan. Pass a little bit out of the reach of Apperson. Shot ends up on the stick of McIntosh, but she didn't quite get enough to test the goaltender post with it. Apperson just overskates that one. Nice play by Barbera to tie her up, and then she completes that pass over to McIntosh. McIntosh steps around one. She's got Woods coming off the bench. Back to the point for Barbera. Barbera tried to feed it to Woods, but that's broken up by Curio. And here comes Calgary with a 2-on-1. It's Curio and Apperson. Makes the pass to Apperson. She can't corral it for a clean shot. Second chance goes off the side of the net. Missed chance there for Calgary, as that shot from the point easily scooped up by Erica Howe.
Definitely, and she'll want that one back. It was a good opportunity, but just not enough meat on it, and a little bit, a couple inches too late. So, nonetheless, the Markham Thunder will count their blessings on that one and not put themselves in that situation. But I should also say, you know, Erica Howe really hasn't been all that busy this game so far, so she'll definitely want to stay awake. And I have a feeling the Calgary Inferno are going to come alive during the second period. If I had to guess, I would imagine.
Only 6 shots in that first period for Calgary. Ben, that's a good point. They'll need to improve on that if they hope for a different result. Of course, they trail right now 2-0. And really, it has been Markham's game for most of it so far, as Skeets gives chase. Shielding that puck away from Pierre. He centered out front, and clearing it there from the danger was Gardner. Down the ice, Wallace Chuck first on it here for Markham. Takes a look up, makes the pass for Skeets, but that's on the wrong side of center ice, so that'll be an icing against the Thunder with 16:48 left in the second.
And the Thunder actually thought they should have got the icing there a couple of seconds ago. They were kind of complaining on the bench, but it was brushed off. And that icing happens, goes back into the Markham Thunder zone.
Off the ensuing face-off, Woods ties up with Lovell, but Calgary nearly had possession. Teams overskating it, and now Grigg finally comes up with it. Lindsay Grigg brings it in. Plays it off the backboards. No one in there to support her, so she'll now retreat to her defensive position. Turnbull with room to skate tries to bring it up the ice. That's picked off, so Gavrilova will come back and scoop it up for Calgary. She plays it to Gosling, who goes cross ice for Turnbull. Turnbull right back to Gosling. Good aggressive forward check by the Thunder all game long, and really evident right now. Calgary having a lot of difficulties just trying to break out. Jenner picks that puck up. She gets the blue line, puts it right on, and that's cleared by the stick of Howe. Brown and McParlin digging away for the puck. And it's the captain Larocque who scoops it up, makes the pass to Richards. Richards takes a couple of Inferno players into the boards, as both Shirley and Gannon were tied up there, and then offside. I wasn't sure if they were maybe going to signal a penalty, but it is just an offside call against the Markham Thunder.
And a good catch by a linesman. She was caught in a lot of traffic there and saw the player exiting the bench on the far side, and calls the offside. But like you said, phenomenal forechecking here by the Markham Thunder. Calgary's really having a tough time getting out of their zone, and even when they do have that extra second, there's that Markham Thunder, that green sweater all over them. We saw it with Grigg, we saw it with Richard. There's a lot of good offensive pressure here for the Markham Thunder, and Calgary's definitely having a tougher time getting out of their zone.
Calgary applying some forward-checking pressure of their own here, but now it's McIntosh who scoops it up for Markham. Oh, nearly caught Rattray there with that pass through the middle, just hopped over her stick. And then a big hit laid there by Simmons as she stands her ground against Murray, and Murray is hurt. Kelly Murray down and in some pain after being stood up there by Dania Simmons, and that is a concerning sight for the Calgary Inferno.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like it's her knee that was hurting, although not for sure. The trainer will look at her, but a good job by Dania Simmons. She just, stood her ground. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's not a body check. It's just her standing up, holding her ground. And Cromwell will look to talk to the officials, see what they saw, but I think we're all kind of on the same page. It was a good play, but nothing worth a penalty.
Breaking the action here because of the injury to Murray, and Calgary already without Haley Cudmore in the lineup tonight due to an injury, so this could be a tough hurdle to overcome for that blue line. Of course, they get the addition of Blair Turnbull back, so that's a big boost, but Calgary, as they try secure home ice advantage, this is not something they want to see here.
No, not at all, and she's still down, still looks like she's in pain, and they'll definitely, that would be a loss for the Calgary Inferno if they were to lose her this game, but nonetheless, looks like the trainer stretching out her leg and gives both squads an opportunity to kind of strategize the next little bit. Markham's had a great few minutes here. Lots of offensive pressure. Calgary looked like they had a couple of good chances there, but it got brought into the Markham zone, or the Calgary zone again, rather, and as we see Murray getting up, she'll exit the ice. Get looked after and hopefully return to play maybe later in the game, although we'll have to see it. It does look like it's her knee that's down, but nonetheless, the officials will confirm no penalty on the play. 5-on-5 hockey.
15:04 here to go in the second period. We'll get back to the action momentarily. As Ben just mentioned, Kelly Murray headed down the tunnel towards the Inferno locker room. We will get you an update on her status when we can.
Calgary wants the play to be brought inside, except it is outside. That's the right call. It was their player who stopped the play, so be an unfair advantage to them, but it is brought outside. And here we go.
Richards on the draw for Markham. She ties up there against Curio, and it's Calgary that come away with the puck. Quickly taken away. Rattray gives chase here. Icing indicated, icing called. So we'll bring the puck all the way back down the ice for a face-off in Markham territory.
It'll be brought to the glove side of Erica Howe. A good opportunity for the Calgary Inferno to get something going here. Jocelyne Turnbull on the points, and we know how Turnbull can be a real force on that blue line as well. She had a pretty good Olympic Games, and definitely looked for her tonight for this Calgary Inferno squad.
As the Thunder break out of their own zone here, Gosling picks that one off. Otherwise, Rattray could have been one-on-one with Turnbull. Turnbull has it now, plays it near side to Gosling. It's just checking the out-of-town scoreboard there. First period over in Toronto. It's a 2-0 lead for the Furies over the Blades. As Megan Bozek picks up that loose puck. Lindsay Grigg under pressure there from Curio. Nice job to evade the check, but she loses her footing and turns it over to Apperson. Apperson's shot, that's turned away by Erica Howe, and Calgary can't capitalize on that blown tire there. Turnbull picks it up. Room to skate, she'll take it, endures a bit of a slash there.
Yeah.
Play continues on. Turnbull shot right on. Good save by Howe. Picked up here by Woodgate. She's checked closely by the Markham defender, Esposito, there as well. And Fouracres had it in her skates. Penalty coming up here to the Thunder as behind the play, cross-checking the call. So Calgary will head back to the power play 0 for 1 tonight.
Yeah, Alexis Walchuk going in 2 minutes 4, cross-checking. I was surprised. I thought the front official was going to call it, but that's the beauty of the 4 official system is someone caught it. I thought there wasn't going to be a call to play. I was a little surprised, but it was a cross-check in front of the net. Good call by the officials. Brings Markham to the PK once again. Like you said, 0 for 1 tonight. The Calgary Inferno are on the power play. At 22.456 is Markham's PK.
Gavrilova waved out of the dots, so coming in is Woodworth, and she wins it back to the point for Jenner. Goes far side to Gosling, back over to Jenner. Near side now to Woodworth. Woodworth lets the shot fly, and through traffic, it never makes it on net. It's scooped up by Taylor Woods, and here comes Woods skating it up the ice. Jenner, she's got room to operate. She makes the pass to Gavrilova. She runs out of space as Larocque takes her out. Pass back to the point for Gosling. Gosling thought about the shot, still thinking. Plays it back to Jenner, near side now to Woodworth. Woodworth steps in, takes the shot, that one blocked. And it'll be Jocelyne Larocque who rims it around the far boards, but not out. Kept in by Gosling. Played it down low to Gavrilova. Loose puck picked up by Esposito. Back to the point for Gosling. Jenner and Gosling trade positions. Gosling leaves it for Jenner, but she's checked tight there by Becca King. Brianne Jenner stick handles, makes the pass to Gosling. Gosling lets the shot fly, and that one's blocked fearlessly by Jocelyne Larocque. Nice play by Gosling to keep it in, and Calgary maintain pressure for the time being, and now Markham clear it down the ice with just 45 seconds left in the power play.
Really good use of the body there by the Markham Thunder on the part of Becca King and Jocelyne Larocque. A good couple chances there for Larocque and King as well. Welcome back, Jocelyne Larocque, but a good use of the body, and here we see another penalty coming up. Looks like this one's going to go to the Calgary Inferno for body checking.
Yeah, heads-up play there by Jamie Lee Rattray. She causes a turnover, but ends up being sandwiched between a couple of Inferno players for her trouble, and there you get a look at the replay. The resulting penalty assessed to Erica Cron.
Markham's power play, they'll get on the power play in about a minute or so. Here's at 47.8, and Calgary's PK is at 76. And so they'll 34 seconds will be 4-on-4, and after that, Markham will go to the power play for the first time this game. We saw it be pretty effective last week against Toronto, getting a couple goals on the power play, and we'll have to see what Markham's able to conjure up this time.
So in 25 seconds, Markham will have the advantage. For now, we play 4-on-4. Level her shot off a stick, then off the back of the net as they battle for the bouncing puck. Bozek under pressure. She's drilled down to the ice. Play continues on. Then she took a whack at her player. And now we've got a 3-on-2 breaking out here for Markham. Grigg, she's got Costa with her. Brown. Grigg tried to feed the shot through, blocked by Turnbull, and then scooped up there by the glove hand of Post. About a second or two left in the Markham penalty, and then they'll have an abbreviated power play of their own.
And that's just one where you're like, as a player, why couldn't you run the clock for just an additional second? But yeah, a pretty physical game so far here. And, you know, there is no body checking in women's hockey, but as any referee, coach, or player will tell you, there's a big difference between body checking and body contact. And we're seeing a lot of that here tonight.
Rattray had a shooting opportunity moments ago. It just goes wide to the far post, and here comes Markham. They'll have to start up out of their own zone, and Larocque is stood up at the blue line, so Barbera scoops it up once again for the Thunder. Barbera. Here comes Laura McIntosh. Rattray with her, just offside at the blue line. 57 seconds left in the Markham power play.
And you can see the look on Jamie Lee's face. She was like, came so close, just an inch over the line. She tried to hold, then kind of lost an edge and then came forward. The referee was standing literally right in front of her and was able to make the call for offside, but it will give a chance for Rattray, Richards, and Megan DeLay to get out there and conjure something up here.
Here comes Bozek. She brings the puck in for the Thunder. Stops on a dime, under pressure by Apperson. She plays it into the far corner. Nice work there by Rattray to cause that turnover. Centered it out front, but no one there for Markham to get a touch. Behind the net to Richards. She plays it to Rattray, who plays it around the boards now to Grigg. Grigg at the point. Feathers it down low to Rattray, who comes out top. Rattray circles around the zone. Tries to pass it to Grigg. It's broken up. And Apperson, with a good job to get her body in position to shield it from Grigg, takes some time off the clock. Bit of an odd bounce against the end boards. Nearly caused some trouble there for Howe.
Yeah, and Kaylee Apperson able to hold Grigg in place, and that would allow Erica Crom to shoot it down.
Penalty coming up here against the Inferno, so it won't be much of a 5-on-3, just 2 seconds of 5-on-3 power play time, but essentially Markham with back-to-back power plays here as that's Iya Gavrilova heading to the box.
Yeah, Gavrilova, as we talked about, has been really good for the Calgary Inferno this season, and like you said, 2 seconds on the 5-on-3, but Markham will take the extra 2 minutes of 5-on-4 hockey. They had a pretty good power play. Calgary was able to get it out and really start to have a bit of momentum towards the back end of that power play, but 2 additional minutes for the Thunder here.
Turnbull tries to clear the zone, can't do so successfully. McParland keeps it pinned in down low. Turnbull gets a second chance, and this time she ices it down the length. Right on net, where Howe leaves it for Larocque, who plays it up to Brown. Nicole Brown, under pressure, drops it for McParland, who plays it back up to Brown. Calgary clear that puck to center ice as it's scooped up by Jocelyne Larocque. Larocque to McParland. McParland goes right back to her. And now they go near side to Brown. Costa digging in against Taryn Baumgart against the end boards. And it'll be the Thunder coming up with it. Rattray steps off the half wall. Cuts in front and can't get a shot away cleanly. Woodworth with a good short-handed effort there. Esposito gets around Larocque. Esposito tried to center it for Woodworth. That's broken up as Calgary try to create some offense short-handed. Just 50 seconds remaining in the Markham power play as Larocque, under pressure, has to spin away from Apperson. Puck picked up by Rattray. She's got room to skate. Jamie Lee Rattray cuts in, lets the shot fly, and that's turned away by Lindsay Post. Here comes Blair Turnbull, short-handed for Calgary. Turnbull hits the blue line, gets to the face-off dot, cuts tight to the net, nearly sneaks that one between Howe and the post, but the Markham goaltender has her angles covered and keeps the door shut.
And that's so scary if you're a goaltender. That puck right behind your pad, in between the post and your pad, you don't have the flexibility to kind of, be flexible there. You don't have the balance because if you move back, you're going to fall on your back. But you kind of just got to hold your pad in place and hope to God that the referee blows it eventually, which they were able to do because you have everyone hacking away at that butt end of your pad.
20 seconds left in the Markham power play. Skeets puts it right on. Big rebound. Seedhouse had the shot, and it's turned away by Post. Real physical battle there between Jenner and Skeets, and now it's Jenner coming away with the puck. Grigg picks this one up for Markham. Off the skate of Seedhouse and back to the stick of Grigg. Penalty over for Calgary. Back to even strength hockey is Grig's shot off the shin pad of Gosling and into the corner. Gavrilova just overskates that one. Otherwise, she would have been one-on-one with Bozek. But now it's Bozek flipping it off the boards out to center ice. Simmons returns it to Bozek as she's got a head of steam right now. Megan Bozek battling in there against Pieri. Pieri loses her twig, but Calgary gets the puck out. Gardner ties up with her player, Skeets. That's going to be a penalty against Skeets. The Markham bench not happy about that call, or the call coming up. Calgary nearly end up. Jeez, they really got lucky there as they center that one back. The goaltender had left for the extra attacker. They nearly pass it into their own empty net.
That would be a first for me to see that. I have not seen that before. I don't know about you, Nico. But
that would be a first in the CWHL. Yeah. I've never seen that in this league before, that's for sure.
Skeets is going to go 2 minutes for high sticking. Now, I thought if they were going to call anything, it might have been a hook when she fell. She kind of pulled her man down. I thought that might have been even a bit iffy. It did look like she fell, but nonetheless, it will be high sticking on Skeets' part. She'll go off 2 minutes. It will give Calgary their counted third chance on the power play tonight. They haven't been able to muster up anything as they're off to a great start so far, as Shirley is getting kicked out for encroachment, and Crom will move in.
So Shirley out, Crom in. Crom wins the draw. Shirley passes it back to Turnbull. At the line, Baumgart makes the pass. There's the shot right on, turned away. Rebound also turned away by the pad of Howe. Turnbull under pressure. Ends up losing positioning there to Costa, and the puck is cleared out to center. Apperson makes the pass to Shirley. Apperson and Crom head to the net. Puck sitting there at the hash marks, picked up, intended for Turnbull, but under her skates, and she shows a little bit of frustration there, slamming her stick against the ice. Always interesting to see how the return to league play is for players coming back from an international break or duty, and I think it's safe to say Jocelyne Larocque has been outstanding here tonight. I've been very impressed by the play of Brianne Jenner. She's looked as strong as ever, as that shot from Gavrilova deflected over top the net. But I think Blair Turnbull just hasn't quite found her gear yet here tonight.
No, I tend to agree with you, and it's a different lifestyle.
As there's a shot from the point, a seeing eye shot from Gosling finds its way through, and Calgary are on the board, courtesy a power play goal from Caitlin Gosling, her 7th of the season.
Well, third time's a charm, it looks like. And Caitlin Gosling, a beauty shot from the blue line here. We see it D to D, top of the circle, and the nice hard shot just gets by Erica Howe. Makes it 3-1 for the Markham Thunder still, but great momentum for the Calgary Inferno. I'm just going to touch on, it's a different lifestyle being on the national team. You're 6 months living in Calgary with the same team. You really form that camaraderie, and it's a different style of play at the international level, too. A lot of teams from Europe are really starting to come alive, and that's a whole nother discussion that's really fascinating, but, it's
well, toe drag by Rattray, and then that shot off into the corner. Great chance there.
It's definitely different coming back to your club team as opposed to a national team level, and it does take some time for some players to really catch their groove. Others not so much, but
yeah, and I wouldn't say Blair Turnbull has played poorly. Yeah. She just maybe hasn't quite clicked on all cylinders the way she would like. You can see she's skating strong. She's had a couple of good shots on net. She's got confidence with the puck, but it seems like the transition's maybe been a little more difficult here tonight for her coming back.
And I mean, even being an Olympian, I mean, you're still joining a squad that's been together for the past number of months and really starting to get comfortable with each other. And no matter how good you are, I think it still takes some time to definitely readjust and reintegrate. But like you said, I wouldn't say she's played poorly. Just has yet to get to that level, I think, where she has been, but give it time, I definitely think we'll see her back to that.
Absolutely, and she's got the puck on her stick there. Blair Turnbull makes the pass up to Dakota Woodworth, who takes the sharp angle shot. That's turned away by the blocker of Erica Howe. It's interesting, the point you mentioned about chemistry, as there's a shot also turned away by Howe. I want to elaborate on that in a little bit, because I was talking with Calgary head coach Thomas Pacina before the game. We spoke about that element specifically, but right now Calgary moving the puck well here in the offensive zone as Esposito battles against the end boards. with Simmons. Gavrilova digging away for the puck, and it's on the stick of Curio now for Calgary. Rihanna Curio tries to feather it out front to Crom. There's a shot turned away by the stick of Howe. So Calgary gaining some momentum here after scoring that goal minutes ago. Simmons under pressure by Crom, plays it far side to Wallace-Chuck. And they'll feather off the boards but not out. Crom picks up that loose biscuit. Shoots. That one's turned away by the stick of Howe. McParland can't clear it. Gannon still with it here for Calgary. Tries to feather it in front to Gardner. That one's blocked by Simmons. Calgary really has Markham pinned deep right now under pressure as Shirley picks it up. Makes the pass to Pierre, who feathers it off the boards, and Simmons fans on that clearing attempt. Gardner in there alongside Shirley, and finally Markham get a desperation whistle with Richards and Simmons buried on top of the puck.
Yeah, a great drive by the Inferno to cycle it out. You know, I kind of refer to it as the, a 5-on-5 power play. It's like you got the other squad boxed in. You know, at that point, it's 5-on-5. Someone's got to go at them and attack because you're not on the PK. You're not on the box. You know, you really... Someone's, and we see the goal there that they were on the PK that time, but very similar style just a couple of seconds ago. But that's where if you're the Markham Thunder, someone's got to step forward and attack because you're not down a man, and you definitely want to get some pressure on the Inferno.
Well, speaking of the Inferno and what I alluded to earlier, the whole chemistry factor with a couple of Olympians back in the lineup for Calgary. And I was talking with head coach Thomas Pacina. I asked him that, is there any concern? Obviously, you're getting two incredibly talented and skilled players back in your lineup, but is there any concern in disrupting the chemistry you guys have formed all season long? He was pretty candid. He said, on one hand, sure, there's a little bit of concern about that, as with the puck tied up against the boards, we get another stoppage in play. But he was also very open and said, frankly, all season, all year long, we knew they were coming back. We had open discussions with Turnbull and Jenner throughout the Olympics. They stayed in contact with our team. They were very much a part of this team, even though they weren't with the team all season. So he didn't think it was going to be a huge issue integrating them back into the lineup in terms of that chemistry. But yeah, it was a bit of a concern for the coach.
Absolutely, and and good on them the comeback, and definitely they feel like it's their duty coming into the playoffs. And I feel there's sometimes a misconception out there that the national team girls kind of play the national team, and then they come back and they play CWHL because the only place to play. But no, you talk to any of them, from Natalie Spooner and Marie-Philippe Poulin and all of them, they love playing for their club team. It's something they they want a Clarkson Cup. It's not a we're doing the national team and we have to do the CWHL. It's no, we're part of the national team, but we're also part of the CWHL. And it's something they genuinely have a passion for and enjoy doing it and love being a part of that team.
Well, nice work there by Calgary to keep the puck in the zone. It's a great point that you mentioned, Ben. All the ladies out there, they've got one goal in mind. It's a Clarkson Cup championship. Right now for the Markham Thunder, they're battling for their playoff lives. And for the Calgary Inferno, they're trying to secure second seed and home ice in the opening round of the playoffs.
I mean, what was that famous Sammy Joe Small line? I've won a world championship and Olympic gold.
Bouncing puck right in front, turned away by Rattray.
I won a world championship and Olympic gold, but I have yet to win the Clarkson Cup, and that was in 2014 when our squad won it.
Big hit there by Bozek. That's going to be a penalty against the Thunder. Calgary will head back to the power play once Markham gains possession, and Calgary striking on their most recent power play chance. As there, it's finally touched by Rattray, so Bozek, one of the key penalty killers for Markham, will have to serve this penalty. Body contact, the call here.
Yeah, she used that big body for body check, and she'll go off 2 minutes, gives Calgary their fourth chance on the power play. Here we see it. Just a bit of, well, that actually wasn't the penalty, but here you see Bozek step up, and I don't know if I necessarily, I mean, that angle, I know what it looks like to the referee. I mean, I kind of thought she stood her ground there a bit, but nonetheless, she'll go off 2 minutes for body contact, puts Calgary on the power play, which we just saw be quite effective a few minutes ago, so we'll have to see what they are able to muster up this power play.
Well, we talk about viewers' shout-outs. We've got a very special one I'll get to in just a few moments, and someone who knows women's hockey maybe better than anyone else sending me a message about Blair Turnbull. We'll get to that in a few moments here as Woodworth tees it up in front, and that redirection just goes wide to the far post. Calgary doing some great work here on the power play, and then it just gets past Brianne Jenner. Well, I'll get to it now. Mel Davidson sending me a message, and of course, if you know the women's game, you know how influential Mel has been in terms of the success Canada has had at the national level, making the point that Blair playing defense tonight, not typically a position she would play, and maybe that's the reason she's looking a little bit out of sorts here tonight. Mel, a great point by you. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. We appreciate all the work you do at the rink and away from it as well. As Turnbull under pressure here by her numerical counterpart, Jamie Lee Rattray. Time winding down, just 2 seconds left in the period. Sophie Shirley runs out of time, but Calgary get a very important goal back, making this a 1-goal game heading into the third period. Well, stay tuned. We've got a rinkside intermission interview coming up shortly with Ben Smith and a player from the Calgary Inferno. And after 40 minutes of play, the score favoring the Markham Thunder, 2-1. No scoring for Markham in that second period. They opened it up early with Jenna McParland, assisted by Nicole Costa, and then they made it 2-0 at the end of the first period when Kristen Richards put in a rebound off a Nicole Brown chance. Calgary striking back here in the second period on the power play, courtesy a goal from Caitlin Gosling, her 7th of the season. While we're standing by and we'll be set to join Iya Gavrilova and Ben Smith in just a few minutes here. Again, you can connect with us on social media at the CWHL. Make sure you tune in, tweet at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and you can connect with us throughout the show. We'll get to a few viewer shout-outs in the third period, but we're ready at ice level with Ben Smith.
Periods in the book here for the Thornhill Community Center. 2-1 for the Markham Thunder against the Calgary Inferno, joined alongside Iya Gavrilova. A great period by the Calgary Inferno. It looked like you guys really turned on during that second period. What did you think being out there?
I mean, we had a long day traveling from Calgary, so the first period we couldn't get our legs going, and in the second I think we came out flying, and we kept them in the zone a lot, and we got a lot of shots from that, so we just got to keep doing the same thing.
The return of the Olympians. We were talking upstairs, and you've really been one of the players that have really stepped up your game in their absence, and now that they're back, you know, there's so much potential. How excited are you to see them back and really be able to come out with them to dominate out there?
It's awesome. They're great people, great character. We're so glad to have them back. I mean, they're bringing so much to our team, so we're looking forward to playing, to have them on the team.
A very close game. Of course, you want the W for playoff positioning. How do you get it in this one?
I mean, we just gotta keep doing the same thing, get lots of shots on net, and then hopefully it's gonna come.
Yeah, thanks for this. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. You're watching CWHL Live. After this break, we'll talk with some players from New Zealand. All that and more. Stay tuned. You're watching CWHL Live.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
The thing that excites me the most about this collection is the fact that we're able to celebrate the diversity of the Canadian landscape. Our actual campaign really celebrates the beauty that Canada is.
To be with a brand that fully encourages women to reach their goals and their true abilities, that's something that's really special.
Well, for years and years, it was Canada and the States leading women's hockey, but international hockey has really come alive in women's hockey in the past couple of years. Joined alongside Angeli Malari and Helen Murray from the New Zealand national team. What brings you to Canada?
We're here for a 12-day training camp before the Division II World Champs in Spain.
Fantastic. You're going to Spain. How excited is the team for this, and what's your shots looking like so far?
Oh yeah, we're really pumped. We're ranked second in this tournament, so we're really looking for a gold medal this trip. We're really hoping we can bring it home.
Okay, New Zealand's not necessarily a country known for ice hockey, but how did you guys get involved with the game, and where have you seen the game grow in New Zealand over the last couple of years?
Well, the two of us actually both started playing inline hockey, and then we come into ice after a couple of years playing that. And yeah, over the last couple of years, ice hockey is it's growing. It's a small sport in New Zealand, but it's definitely picking up in the women's division. Yeah.
Inline hockey, for those in North America, is roller hockey, right? And how have you seen the game grow in New Zealand over the last couple of years, and how special has it been to see?
Yeah, no, it's really cool. There's a lot more of the younger girls in our team this year coming through, and for us that are quite senior in the team now, this is my 8th. I think this is Helen's 6th World Champs, so we've been around for a little while. It's really cool to see the talent coming through, to see where it's going to go in the future.
Not a bad game here tonight between Calgary and Markham. I'll ask your predictions on who's going to take the W here tonight, and is there anyone on the ice that's really caught your attention tonight?
Markham's playing amazing. They are so strong on the puck. Yeah, I think Lindsay Grigg stands out for us.
She's a roller player from way back. I've known her for about 5 or 6 years, so it's really cool seeing her play ice. I think she's number 23. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for this. Best of luck in Spain, and hope you get the gold medal. All the best.
Cool. Thank you.
Cheers.
You're watching CWHL Live. Stay tuned. Third period action coming your way.
Like people, businesses have their journey, their path, sometimes straight, but more often evolving, growing, and adapting. And like people, businesses' needs change, creating the need for knowledge in areas like accounting, consulting, and tax. Areas critical to your continued growth and success, all part of the journey, and all part of what we do together with you. So that when your business has arrived, it's ready to keep going. MNP, wherever business takes you.
Boston with the third-ranked PK in the CWHL, 71.9%. Esposito to Warren, back to Esposito. Warren to the point. Gosling shot on goal, doesn't get through, and Boston will clear it. Oh, wow. They score!
And that went straight in.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that was just a lapse of attention to detail there by Post. She wasn't quite paying attention. Boston dumped it, and it went straight in.
So on their second shot on goal, past their own blue line, and that one goes in. So
faking up high and then actually taking advantage and taking it to the net.
Centering pass, Boston shot on goal, deflected in off of Calgary's Murray, I believe. So a couple of really unlucky bounces here for the Calgary Inferno, but kudos to Boston taking a 2-0 lead, taking advantage of Calgary's errors.
You can really see the difference in Boston's power play to the power play that we saw from Calgary. They were moving, they were getting pucks to the net, they're going from low to high to half-boards, and they were really trying to make passes through the seams, and that's how you want to create opportunities on the power play, because it forces those penalty killers to really move.
Deep for Gavrilova, but she is able to go for the line change, and a chance now. Greaves for Boston. Boston one-on-one. She scores backhand. And that all came because of that line change.
Again, yeah, you got to get that puck deep, and I was just saying how the fatigue factor comes into play, and you know, we saw it in the Team Canada-US game. When you do a wholesale line change and the other team gets the puck on their stick, the players are just too good to give those opportunities up. So here we are again. Calgary's had possession of the puck for 90% of the second period, and they're again losing this period. I'm on the same page here.
Chance now. They score!
Yeah.
So interesting how that, without a setup, they came in.
Yeah, that was all about a great entry there. So, you know, that ability to transition and move that puck, get it going the other way real quick. And, you know, Sophie Shirley just finally, after hitting a couple posts here, was able to find the back of the net. She did a great job staying wide and making sure that when she got that pass, she did nothing but shoot. She got it.
But some good draw weight there, and there's no icing call. Intercepted by Calgary. Chance now, shot on goal, deflection. Battle out in front of Caridi, and they score! It is a 3-2 game, Calgary. All kinds of pressure for the Inferno, and they make Boston pay.
Yeah, this is the Calgary team that we expected. They are just pushing for it. They know what's on the line. They know what it is they need to do to try to get that home ice advantage, and this is just a scramble in front of the net and relentlessness by Fouracres.
Back to Gavrilova on the point. Shot on goal, saved by Caridi. They score on the rebound!
Wow.
3-3. Calgary clawing back from a 3-0 hole. 4:39 left on the clock. What a game.
That was interesting here. Now Calgary is finally getting one of those good bounces. So that puck was just thrown to net and actually came off Caridi, and it bounced off Esposito into the back of the net. So, you know, Calgary's been working hard for those bounces. They haven't got them. They've had a couple posts this game. And finally, one of those lucky bounces goes their way, and that's
1 minute left on the clock, 3-3. Calgary, great pressure this entire period. Back pass, shot now, Gosling, she scores! What a shot by Gosling, 46 seconds left. The comeback is complete, and they're now in the lead.
Wow, what a performance here by Calgary in the third period.
Wow.
Down by 3. They rally back with 4 goals in the third period, and there's only 46 seconds left here.
Incredible game this afternoon. Kudos. This has been entertaining, one of the most entertaining games I think that we've had all season.
Not just something you can see or touch. Home is a feeling. It's the place where you feel safe to have those little moments that mean everything. At ADT, we believe that feeling should always be there, whether it's at your house or your business. We help keep you safe so you can have those moments that make you feel at home, wherever you are.
Welcome back inside Thornhill Community Center as we get you set for the third period of play here in tonight's CWHL Live broadcast between the Markham Thunder and the Calgary Inferno. Quite the contest so far. Lots of swagger on both benches. I think you know exactly what I'm referring to there. And it's a great game as just one goal separating these teams through 40 minutes of play. Markham with a 2-1 edge right now.
Yep. Well, like you said, great games so far. And if Liz Knox's swagger skills and dancing skills are as good as her goalie skills, which they are, Calgary's in some trouble tomorrow. But anyways, big third period for both squads. Calgary kind of came alive there in that second period. Like Ian was saying, a lot of travel for the Calgary team over the past couple of days, and it's a bit of a shaky start, but nonetheless, they're back into it. 2-1 is your score after 2 periods of play. So Markham's up by 1 goal. And like we said, it's 2 teams battling it out for 2 reasons. Both of them are important before the playoffs, and both teams want the W tonight. So we'll have to see. It'll be a good third period for sure.
Markham outshot in that second period by a total of 6-2 shots in the game favoring Calgary, a total of 12-9 as Gosling blows a tire there on some wet ice in the corner, but she's quick to get back to her feet. Big 2 points on the line here tonight. There's a one-timer from Jenner that screeches just wide of the post. Calgary on the power play here. Still have 20 seconds of power play time as Larocque gets dropped. No call. Play continues on. Gavrilova picks up that loose puck. Back to the point for Jenner. Jenner tries to get into a shooting lane. Passes it to Gosling. Lets that shot fly. It's redirected a couple times in front of Howe. And she ends up squeezing the pads tight to keep that one out.
Gavrilova and Jocelyne Larocque have been really on each other all game long, and you saw it there in front of the net. Gavrilova kind of chipping away, and Jocelyne suggesting rather aggressively to step away. But nonetheless, a good job by Erica Howe to see through traffic there and pounce on top of that one.
No love lost between those two rivals as Megan Bozek back on the ice. There's a shot redirected, big rebound, and turned away by a diving Erica Howe. Bozek out there, penalty over. Team's back to even strength here as the puck kept in the zone. Crom digging away forward against the wall, taking on Wallace Chuck. It comes out, back to the point where it's feathered up by Baumgart. Grigg tries to clear it, gets it to Nicole Brown, and now Jenna McParland with some room to skate. McParland already has one in this one, tees it up, big rebound, turned away by Post, third save, oh my goodness. What goaltending there from Lindsay Post.
That was one. If Nicole Costa was just a second quicker on that, just a one-timer instead of the wind-up, that could have easily gone in a wide open net for her to step in.
She started by making a save on the far post, then one right in the middle, and then she had to make one on the near side. 3 saves from 3 different angles, and Lindsay Post keeping this a 1-goal game as that puck up and out of play. And I think they'll keep the face-off inside Calgary territory.
Yeah, and a great dynamic play there by Lindsay Post to stop all 3 shots, as you know. The goalie was responsible for the first shot. Your defensemen are responsible for all the shots after, and there should not have been a wide-open net there for Markham to score on. Nonetheless, there was. And, if I'm the defenseman on that play, I'm giving Lindsay's pads a bit of a tap and saying thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Woods picks up that loose puck, ends up having her pocket picked, and here comes Sophie Shirley leading the attack for Calgary. Shirley tries to cut into the middle. Beautiful textbook D there from Jocelyne Larocque, taking her off the puck, forcing the player wide. Puck stays in the zone. Calgary digging away for it. Woods clears it away from danger, and that comes out to center ice where it's scooped up by Woodworth. Calgary quickly dump it in. Dostaller forces Howe out of her net to play it, and Larocque picks it up. Makes the pass far side to Skeets. Skeets tied up there, as that was 4 Acres doing some good work for Calgary. Puck behind the Markham net where Grigg nearly overskates it. Wallace Chuck in there as well. Woodworth makes the pass back to the point. Baumgart Over to Woodworth, just out of her reach in her skates. And here comes Jamie Lee Rattray for Markham. Rattray in there all alone. Cuts tight and ends up running out of real estate. You can see there, Ben, there were 4 white jerseys below the hash marks, only 1 green jersey, and that kind of took away any threat that Jamie Lee Rattray had.
Yeah, really good job by to Calgary to get on top of her, but full credit to Jamie Lee for kind of sticking through it and really a lot of power to get through it. Of course, kind of wobbled the puck a bit and wasn't able to get the shot off, but nonetheless was able to power right through it. And she's on a hot streak still, too, and she hasn't got a point yet this game, I don't believe.
Not yet.
You know she'll be hungry for it. She wants to keep that streak alive.
Well, honestly, she is having an MVP type of season. 5th in CWHL scoring. There's probably not enough discussion about the type of year she's had and her in the MVP race, but she has had an MVP type year. Here comes Blair Turnbull rushing right in, fanned on the shot after skating coast to coast there, end to end. A great chance for Turnbull, goes by the wayside. Puck nearly tied up on the behind the net, and now it's cleared off.
And she's MVP off on the ice, but also off the ice.
Yes.
She's the You Can Play ambassador. She's the Do It for Darren ambassador. Every school visit that the Markham Thunder have done this year, she's been there, including the hometown hockey one this week. Like, she is just involved in the community as just about anyone, and she's also had an incredible season on the ice, especially in the absence of Megan Bozak and without, Jocelyne Larocque and a lot of those players who came in a bit after the fact. Jamie Lee was here for a long time before and has really, done a great job this season and been a great ambassador on and off the ice for the Thunder.
24 games coming into this one tonight this season, 18 goals, 12 assists, 30 points for Jamie Lee Rattray, including 1 game-winning goal this season. And to give you some perspective, her career stats, she is better than a point-a-game player. Tonight is game number 85 in her career. She's put up 90 career points in the CWHL. And yes, she has been a leader both on and off the ice for the Thunder. And this year, more than any, her name should very much be in that MVP discussion. Gredin picks up that loose puck, plays it over to Baumgart as Calgary trailing here with 15:40 remaining in the third period. Becca King picks up the loose puck, skies it forward, and Gardner picks it up quickly for Calgary. Turnbull, who's really stepping it up now. I don't know if she heard us there in the second period, but she looks like a different player here in the third right now. Really stepping up, and that shot turned away by the blocker of Howe, up and out of play.
Well, I'm sure she was watching our stream throughout the intervention, just wanted to get all the scoop and all that. But no, it's I agree. She's had a great third period so far, and they a lot of travel for this squad too, which could be part of it for a lot of players. But she's definitely, I agree with you, turning on the Jets this third period. Had a great couple shifts so far.
On the Inferno are going to need her to find some magic as they trail by 1. Nicole Brown picks up that long lead pass. Passes it to Larocque. Oh, what a beauty! Welcome back, Jocelyne Larocque. Top shelf Snipe City. It's 3-1 Markham.
Well, she looks excellent in the C, and she's looked excellent all night long, and she's worked hard for that one. And here you see her walk in, and Calgary actually thought this should have been offside to play before, but there you see it, that top shelf, barred down, boom, makes it 3-1 for the Markham Thunder. And Calgary actually thought that the play before, when I believe it was Brown skated it in, thought she was about a stride forward of the puck, and we're calling for the offside to be called there, but nonetheless it wasn't, and it gave Larocque and a couple of those players a great opportunity to set her up, and makes it 3-1 for the Markham Thunder.
Her 4th goal in her CWHL career, her 15th point in her career, but it's a big one here, giving Markham a 2-goal lead. Oh, and Calgary nearly answer right back as that shot just goes wide of the post. And now the net off its pegs here. So we'll get a stoppage with 14:45 left in the third. Ben, what a huge goal there from Jocelyne Larocque. And how about that setup by Jenna McParland? The patience to find Larocque cutting into the zone late. What a setup.
Well, McParland's just great at seeing the ice here tonight. We saw it in her first goal, and you saw it just there at the setup, and it allowed Larocque to walk in. But she's been another one that's been phenomenal tonight. That extra second just takes a look up, see her options, and sees Larocque skating in, a beauty cross-ice pass, and
Well, you saw what happened. It was a pretty beautiful goal.
Gavrilova picks up the loose puck, centers it, intended for Jenner, but she had her stick tied up by McIntosh. Grigg crashes down trying to complete that pass. McIntosh tripped up, no call, play continues on. McIntosh still shielding it, great move there by Laura McIntosh, and finally Calgary take it away from her. Simmons gets it up to Richards. Rattray tries to corral the bouncing puck at center ice. And Markham will just hammer it in deep. 13:50 remaining here in the third period. Markham regain a 2-goal lead, courtesy a goal by Jocelyne Larocque. Icing waved off there, so Nicole Costa first on it for Markham. Costa, long stretch pass for Brown. Brown gets the blue line. Oh, she endures a cross check to the back of the neck by Apperson, and that's an easy call there for the officials. Markham will head back to the power play here, and by my tally, 0 for 2 on the evening.
Yeah, and a good job there by Nicole Brown to power through that, but I don't know if Apperson necessarily knew the referee was standing literally 2 feet behind her and had a full view of the entire thing. Her arm went directly up, and good call by the officials puts Markham on the power play. Third of the night, excuse me, but they're up 3-1. Can they make it 4?
A big opportunity here to get a little more insurance as Barbera passes it over to Larocque. Larocque down low to McParland. McParland at the hash marks, checks her options, goes down low to Costa. Costa comes out of the corner, trading positions with McParland. Larocque passes it to Costa. Costa, top of the circle, cross ice to Brown. Big shot, big save there by the pad of post. And then Calgary end up lifting it out to center ice. Not very deep though. Quickly, Markham bring it right back in. Brown tried to feed it through to McParland, and now Calgary get it down the length of the ice inside the Markham blue line. Larocque over to McParland. Rattray coming off the bench, receives the pass from Costa. Rattray tries to get the outside edge, cuts in tight, lets the shot go, and post, squeezing tight against the post, made sure she didn't lose that puck.
Yeah, absolutely, and a good job by Rattray again to get an opportunity. Just wasn't enough time or space, but she's been really working hard for it. And Lindsay Post kind of saying, what do I got to do to get a whistle here? But it is once the referee loses sight of the puck, not when the goalie has it. So the referee obviously could have seen the puck in that view, and maybe she had to just put a bit of a pad over it.
2-on-2. Here comes Gavrilova for Calgary. Lets the shot fly. Big rebound and just hops over the stick of Gosling, who would have had an empty net to tap it into had she been able to corral it. Gavrilova back checking there against Rattray. Both players tie up, and Gavrilova ends up icing it down here with 30 seconds remaining on the Markham power play and 12 minutes remaining in this third period. Stretch pass. Markham gained the zone. McIntosh lays it off to Bozek. Bozek lets the shot fly. Good glove save there from Post as she had to get down to snag that one.
Thought it interesting. Laura Stacey's still here. She's been signing autographs all night long. She's in the stands right now, actually, with Gina Kinsbury. And I find it funny that Gina's actually at the stands tonight, not on the bench. She typically is on the bench, but we know she's been very actively involved with the national program. But I would imagine she's playing kind of an eye-in-the-sky rover role tonight, as we know Calgary plays Markham again tomorrow. They haven't seen a lot of each other this season, so perhaps she's playing a bit of a scout role tonight and will return to the bench tomorrow, but we'll have to see.
Calgary penalty over. Teams back to 5-a-side hockey. Long stretch pass and icing call there against the Inferno. Well, I should mention there's been a scoring change on the Jocelyne Larocque goal. Larocque still gets credit for the goal, but the assists now going to Nicole Brown and Alexis Wallace-Chuck. So for those of you keeping track at home, Wallace-Chuck and Brown getting the assists on the goal by Larocque.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was
they
pretty
may want to check the tape
I
on
thought
that
it was
one.
pretty clearly McFarland, but I mean, who knows?
Off the face-off. Oh, what a shot by Taylor Woods. And for the second time tonight, the mask of Lindsay Post called into action to make a stop, as she took that one right off the noggin. Larocque makes the pass to Seedhouse. Seedhouse back to Larocque. She plays it into the far corner where it's picked off by Baumgart and cleared to the line, but not out. Nice job by Larocque to hold the zone. Blair Turnbull, room to skate. Oh, she had a player cutting off for a change and couldn't connect on the pass. A bit of miscommunication there. Snuffs out that breakout. Woodworth makes the pass over to Turnbull. She's got Gardner up the ice. Instead, she'll dump it deep and give chase. Gardner first in there for Calgary. McParland skating out here. Just loses hold of the puck. And now Woodworth has it for Calgary at center ice. Woodworth tries to split a couple of Markham players, and it's turned over. McParland gets the toe drag around one, but can't get around Gosling for the second deke. And Calgary escape. Dostaller across center ice. She'll dump it in with 10:05 remaining here in the third period. A reminder that we've got more CWHL live action coming up tomorrow when you can catch our broadcast between the Toronto Furies and the Boston Blades. Sophie Shirley dumped across the blue line. That's going to be a penalty. And Calgary heading to the power play here with 9:48. Kristen Barbera serving a 2-minute minor for tripping.
Yeah, Barbera kind of did made the slash there as Sophie Shirley entered the zone. Not sure if it was the best penalty in the world to take, but nonetheless, she took it, and it'll bring Calgary to yet another power play tonight. And this is right where, if you're the Inferno, you want to get something going, down by 2 goals, 9 minutes left, and they say that a 2-goal lead is the worst one you can have in hockey, so we'll see if they can conjure something up here.
Jamie Lee Rattray, shorthanded, tries to get around Jenner, but the Olympian snuffs that out and puts an end to the shorthanded break. Dakota Woodworth. Oh, under pressure by Rattray. Nearly picked that off. It ends up right on net, and Post had to be sharp to get down and stop that.
Yeah, she's been a workhorse all night long, and you saw it there. Putting some pressure on Lindsay Post. They'll change up Rattray and believe that it's Richards, but in favor of Woods and King.
Off the face-off, rolling puck sticked away by the goaltender Post. Jenner nearly overskated it. Calgary will have to start up again behind their own net with 1:25 left here on the power play. Brianne Jenner goes cross over to Gavrilova, who goes right back to Jenner. Jenner lets the shot fly, and that's turned away by the stick of Howe, deflecting it up and out of play. 9:01 left here in the third period.
It's funny, the netting on that side of the rink, it's not tied really tight to the glass, so you see pucks hit it and then go down. And if you're standing there during warm-up when the players are just shooting right at the glass, it's not the best place to be. Saw a couple of kids there during intermission, and of course they loved it.
Well, a couple of youngsters down there right now.
Until they get hit by the puck. But
well, they just got a free souvenir, so they're pretty happy about that loose netting behind the Markham goal. We'll have to retake the face-off inside Thunder territory here with 1:05 remaining in the Inferno power play.
Here we see a good job by Markham rather to get it down, but good PK so far.
Shirley wins the face-off, intended for Turnbull. She overskates it, and now Rattray could be off on a shorthanded break. Rattray backhands it just wide of the net as she had Baumgart chasing her down from behind.
And yet another situation where we see 4 white jerseys on top of Rattray, because you know how explosive she can be.
They really want to snuff out that point streak she is going on.
Yep.
Again, 12 games, the second longest active point streak in the CWHL right now. She's put up 19 points over that 12-game stretch.
And she's really trying her darnest here tonight to keep it going. To no avail so far, but still lots of time left.
Turnbull at the point, lets the shot fly. That one blocked by her own teammate, Apperson. And Apperson, well, she looks to be in a little bit of pain heading to the bench. I think that puck hit her where she didn't have a ton of padding. Gosling makes the pass to Gavrilova, a bit of a dangerous one. She had her head down and nearly got her claw clean coming across center ice. Esposito picks up the loose puck here for the Inferno. Markham penalty over, so we're back to even strength hockey with 7:40 remaining in the third. There's the one-timer from Woodworth, and that goes wide of the far post. Barbera, the penalized player, out of the box, makes that pass intended for Brown, but it's picked off. Off the bench, Seedhouse with a good defensive play, trying to tie up Calgary as they approach the zone. Now a long lead pass to Costa. Nicole Costa right in, big rebound, turned away. The initial save turned away, no one there to get a touch on the rebound as it just went past the stick of McParland. Quickly, Markham right back. Costa to McParland, right in! Good save there by Post as this line continues to have chemistry here tonight for Markham.
Yeah, they've been on fire, and a good 2 plays there by Nicole Costa and Jenna McParland, and I believe this is the first one actually. No, this is the second one, excuse me. McParland, a nice chance there, and you saw Costa wide open, but the first play was actually Costa to McParland. McParland was about a stride too forward of the puck. She had a wide open net. It was a bad change by the Inferno. They had to get caught up, but could have been close to making it 4-1 between the two of them, definitely.
Calgary pinned in their own zone at the moment. Now they break out. Here comes Dosteller. Makes the pass to Shirley. Shirley gets it up there. Backhander right on. Saved by Howe as Kayla Gardner let that shot fly. 6:43 remaining in the third period. Markham maintaining a 2-goal lead. They've got the advantage 3-1 over the Calgary Inferno.
And a good kill there by the Markham Thunder a couple of minutes ago on that power play, but Calgary definitely trying their darndest to get back into this one.
Turnbull takes it deep and tried to center it. It's broken up, lifted off the glass, but not out. Nice play by Dosteller. Now here comes Seedhouse for Markham. Ellie Seedhouse tees that one up, and that's blocked by Turnbull. Woodworth back the other way here for Calgary. She's got to get some support with her. She's in there all alone right now. Finally, 4 Acres in there as well, giving some support. Woodworth centered out front to Esposito, and that one-timer turned away. Erica Howe looking sharp tonight.
Yeah, Brittany Esposito, 24 points through 21 games. She's been really, really good for this Calgary squad. A good opportunity there. The one-timer, Erica Howe, was right on top of it, but good job by Kristen Richards as well. Right on top of a lot of those players out there, and good job to edge out the incoming Calgary player.
It is Rogers' hometown hockey this weekend in the city of Markham, and we've got a great contest here between the Markham Thunder and the Calgary Inferno to kick off the festivities. As the puck back out to the point, teed up by Bozek, knocked down in front of the net, and now Esposito picks it up for Calgary. Makes the pass up to 4 Acres. She tries to center it in front for Esposito. Pieri tied up in front. She was looking for a call, nothing doing. Jenner cutting towards the front of the net, and they just can't find her on the no-look centering pass. Jenner into the corner, picks up the puck. She's tied up there by Grigg, and Richards in there as well, tries to pin it up against the boards, but Calgary get it free. Jenner makes the pass to Level. Level's shot off a stick, up and out of play. 5:09 left in the third period. Calgary putting on all sorts of pressure.
And you talk about hometown hockey coming to Markham, and there's such a rich, hockey history in Markham. Jeff Skinner, Steven Stamkos. You go down to Stouffville a little bit, Keith Acton, and a couple of those guys. Liz Knox, of course.
I was going to say, you can't mention Stouffville and not mention Knox.
No, never. And also the behind-the-scenes guys like Paul Titanic and a couple of them. It's a rich hockey community, and
here's a chance for Markham. Brown with the shot, turned away by the blocker hand of Post.
And it's been really awesome to see, professional hockey come to the area. They've been hosting the Clarkson Cup for a number of years before it switched formats. But good to see Markham have a team and such rich history, which you'll see on the show tomorrow.
Of course, as Ben just alluded to, there'll be some great features during the main hometown hockey broadcast tomorrow night. And features including these Markham Thunder, so make sure you tune in for that. And of course, the Clarkson Cup will be later this month at the Ricoh Center. Tickets on sale now. Check out all the details at thecwhl.com.
It's not hard to find. I mean, you go online, you're prompted right up top with a banner to start off your journey on cwhl.com, and definitely take a look for that. And if you're in the area tomorrow, definitely grab a ticket. Puck guests of honor dropping the puck tomorrow include Tara Sloan and Ron McLean.
Puck out in front, scooped up by the glove hand of Post. She'll freeze it with 3:56 left to play.
So definitely check that one out. A good job by Lindsay Post to bounce right on top of that puck. Keep her team in this one. This is like 3 minutes left, so something's got to give pretty soon. They got all their A players out there, Turnbull and Shirley and a couple of others. So going to be an interesting one.
Off the ensuing face-off, it's scooped up by Gosling. She plays it near side to Dostauer, who's forced to turn back. Well, just checking the out-of-town scoreboard. Toronto still with a 2-0 lead as Calgary go in offside there as they get set to start the third period of play at the MasterCard Center. The Furies maintaining a 2-0 lead. And of course, the other big contest, which will go at 2:30 p.m. Standard Chinese time, when Vanke and Kunlun do battle. And of course, we know the importance of that one. Very similar to the importance of this game here for playoff seeding and playoff berths potentially.
I was going to say, if you're unfamiliar with the challenges and the needs to win in those games and the situations, just take Calgary and Markham and replace them with Kunlun and Vanke,
Yes.
and you're all caught up.
Exactly. And we'll keep an eye on Calgary's Lindsay Post if she decides to head to the bench for an extra attacker. We've still got 3:12 left here in the third period, but with Calgary trailing by 2, you would think that it would be sooner than later if they opt to pull the goalie. In the meantime, Calgary under pressure here from the forecheck of Rattray. Rattray makes the pass to Richards, cuts her way to the net, rolling puck and just out of reach. Kept in at the line by Bozak. She tees it up. What a rocket. And there's Rattray putting it in, keeping the point streak alive. Jamie Lee Rattray with the red hot stick and maybe a little bit of disbelief on her face as well. Great job by Rattray to see that one through. And for Rattray, make it her 19th goal of the season and her 31st point this year.
19 goals, that might have been the coolest one. It goes high, it's in the air, she just bounces it in. A good agility, good ability to kind of be agile there and poke it out of the air and just tap it in. It was a weird angle, and Lindsay Post really had no chance on that one to see it unless she was, standing right on the post kind of as a wall. But, Jamie Lee Rattray's streak continues, and, she's happy about that one for sure.
Well, in her 85th career regular season game, she gets her 44th career goal, and it's a big one for Rattray and the Thunder as they have all but locked up this one with 2:25 left. They now lead by 3. Bozak and Richards drawing assists on the goal from Rattray. Richards with a goal and an assist in tonight's game, so she continues to get the job done as well. But for Rattray, making now 13 consecutive games with a point, give her 11 goals, 9 assists for 20 points over that 13-game stretch. Blair Turnbull tries to cut in, nothing doing. It's picked off by Barbera, and with 1:45 left, Markham will just try lock this one down. Of course, these two teams back in action here tomorrow afternoon. Another big 2 points on the line for the Thunder and the Inferno as Apperson brings it across the blue line. Apperson centers it for Curio. Big shot, better save by Howe as she is out there cutting down the angle. She has been all but perfect here tonight.
Well, she has been, and kind of an unsung hero here tonight. Hasn't been incredibly busy, but has done the little things right. Really has seen through traffic here tonight as we'll have a timeout called on the part of the Calgary Inferno. But Erica Howe's really been good tonight. Here you see that play again. Jamie Lee able to pick it up, a little bit of bouncing on the ice, and she's able to just tap it in. Lindsay Post really, she tried her best to make it to the other side of the net. Really didn't have a shot at it though, and Jamie Lee keeps her streak alive as both teams will strategize. Not sure if Post is coming to the net yet. We will have to see what happens, but 4-1. It'll be interesting, but it's not, some games
you come into this and you're thinking, oh, they're down by 3. It's kind of game over. But this part of the year when it's playoffs, and Lindsay Post will be going to the bench, so it will be 6-on-5. But at this time in the season, it's really a must-win game. They're going to try to do everything they can to get a W. Yes, there's a minute 24 left, but at this part of the season, you really can't do anything but try.
And try they will with a minute 24 left here in regulation. Calgary down by 3 in dire straits right now as Gavrilova has the puck. Plays it back to the point for Sophie Shirley. Goes right back to Gavrilova. Calgary with the extra attacker out there. Maintains some good puck possession here in the offensive zone as the pass from Shirley to Turnbull over to Gosling. Goes cross ice intended for Gavrilova. Deflected. As we're now inside the final 60 seconds of regulation, King clears it off the boards and down the ice. And this will, oh no, they wave off icing. So Calgary with just 45 seconds left here to try force a different outcome. Blair Turnbull rushes the puck up the ice. Turnbull battling against Bozek, plays it back to the line. Gosling near side to Shirley, feathers that shot through and redirected wide to the far post. 27 seconds now left in regulation. Turnbull feathers it down low to Gavrilova. Gavrilova back out front to Shirley. One-timer, big rebound just under the stick of Turnbull. Calgary coming oh so close. And then Bozek chips it into the empty net, sealing the victory here for the Thunder with under 10 seconds left.
Bozek's also been really good tonight, and she definitely earned that one. She was just able to power through, get it over the red line, just able to walk in and tap it home, makes it 5-1. It's been a great game tonight by the Markham Thunder. They came alive in the first period. They really didn't stop, and they look like a team that wants to make it to the playoffs, and that's because they are. They've had a great game, definitely earned the W here tonight.
Well, I think they've tried to keep the strategy the same all season long, and down the stretch here they know all we have to do is take care of business on our end, and we've got our fate in our own hands. And so far Markham are taking care of business. They get a huge 2 points here tonight against the Calgary Inferno, and of course these two teams will be back in action tomorrow afternoon. But here tonight the hometown Thunder secure 2 huge points in their push for the playoffs. Once again, the final score here tonight from the Thornhill Community Center. The Markham Thunder 5, the Calgary Inferno 1. Teams will shake hands at center ice. And stay tuned because we've got our Tim Hortons 3 stars of the game coming up and a post-game interview with Ben Smith down at ice level. Well, Markham opened up the scoring in the first period when at the 12:23 mark, Jenna McParlin netted her 8th of the season, assisted by Nicole Costa. Then with just 14 seconds remaining in the first period, Kristen Richards knocks one in, her 11th of the season. Nicole Brown drawing an assist on that. Second period scoring, just 1 goal, and it went to the Calgary Inferno. Caitlin Gosling getting her 7th of the season on the power play, unassisted. As the Inferno salute the home crowd. And then in the third period, the Markham Thunder salute the home crowd. The Thunder net a couple in the third period. It was their captain, Jocelyne Larocque, in her first game back, getting a big goal here. Larocque at the 4:53 mark, assisted by Nicole Brown and Alexis Wallace-Chuck. And then Jamie Lee Rattray keeps the scoring streak alive at the 17:10 mark of the third period with her 19th of the season, assisted by Megan Bozek and Kristen Richards. And then, of course, late there with just a few seconds left, Megan Bozek putting the empty netter in. So a 2-point night for Brown, a 2-point night for Bozek, and a big 2 points for the Markham Thunder. And of course, a 2-point night for Kristen Richards as well. Your 3 stars, third star, Caitlin Gosling from the Calgary Inferno. Second star, Erica Howe from your Markham Thunder. And first star in her first game back, Jocelyne Larocque. So 2 huge points for the Markham Thunder. They secure their 11th win of the season, moving them up to 29 points in the standings, giving them a temporary lead over the Vankie Rays. Vankie will be in action later as they get set to take on Kunlun. So a huge game there with major playoff implications. But for now, Markham secure a lead over Vankie in the standings, sitting alone in 4th place for that final playoff spot. Again, these 2 teams back in action here tomorrow afternoon. Will be in action at the MasterCard Center. You can tune into CWHL live action tomorrow when the Toronto Furies get set to host the Boston Blades. Well, it was one heck of a night here at the Thornhill Community Center, which was highlighted by the return of 3 Olympians to CWHL action. Brianne Jenner, Blair Turnbull, and Jocelyne Larocque all make their return to CWHL play, and it was highlighted with our interview guest who scored an absolute beauty there in the 3rd period. Let's join Ben Smith and Jocelyne Larocque.
Thanks so much, Nico. Joined alongside tonight's first star, Jocelyne Larocque, and a big game tonight for you. How did it feel to be back on Thunder Ice?
It was a lot of fun. You know, I was looking forward to it all year and just happy to be back and help the team win and make the playoff push.
Speaking of the playoff push, the last couple of games of the season, what's the mentality going into this final stretch?
I think just outwork the other team, you know, try to be the better team every day, you know, stick to our systems and again, just outwork in every shift. So I think we did that tonight.
Tomorrow's game plan still the same coming in to the one tomorrow?
Definitely, yeah. We can't put the foot off the gas pedal. We got to just keep going and go for the sweep.
Jocelyne, it was great to see you on the ice tonight. Can't wait for the rest of the season, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
5-1 your final score from the Thornhill Community Center game tomorrow at 12:30, as well as the Toronto Thunder stream, the Toronto Fury stream rather. You can watch it all on the CWHL.com/watch. On behalf of Nico Cardarelli, myself, and our entire crew, thanks so much for joining us. Until next time, we'll say bye for now from Markham, and thanks for watching. Cheers.